Hi, I'm your goddess Netska. Here with Trucker Man. We're reacting to...
The most hated VTuber, and it's not Gara.
It's not Gara.
For Scholar and VTubers as of recently. Don't worry, it was completely involuntary. I wouldn't condone the knowledge I've absorbed being put on.
I know none of these. Hey, wait, no, there's Rev. I know one.
This is Pippa. I don't know this one. I don't know this one. I think this one's Iron Mouse. She gets hate for dumb reasons.
Huh.
Because maybe she's like the most... for a while, she was the most... She was actually the most subbed person on Twitch. And for whatever reason, people hated that.
Oh.
Anyone else.
Popular,
Since
huh?
their first conception in 2016 and later popularity in 2019 to 2020, which has carried it all the way to the present day, where like endless mitosis, they've reproduced to the point where they are everywhere. There's a VTuber for every animal almost. I'm still waiting on a water bear VTuber though, or one that is inspired by a slot machine that has a gambling addiction. I feel like I resonate with them very well. But due to its popularity, there are a range of VTubing personalities. Some more reserved and safe for work, some at the other side of the spectrum, and then some you'd think were on a different type of spectrum with whatever the fuck this is.
Oh, she cries so cute! I'll do a backflip for a treat! I'll do a backflip for a treat!
So cute!
They make content, they
That was full-blown autism right there.
Shut up!
stream, some have their own lore better than any of the latest Marvel movies. They have their own meet and greets at events. They even have their own concerts which sell a lot of tickets.
Oh, that's so cool.
The internet is infatuated with
remember
VTubers,
that.
and VTubing is accessible to anyone. If you can fork out the money for a VTubing model with multiple toggles and features, like a tit slider and jiggle physics, which is essentially like jingling keys for the absolute gooners of the VTuber audience.
Jingle.
However, VTubing has become slightly oversaturated over the years, and it is hard to differentiate yourself from the sheer amount of VTubers that there is. But apart from that, VTubing comes with a lot of benefits over the...
Yeah. Trying to be original as a VTuber nowadays is hard. It's basically the same as like creating your own story in anime and junk, or just have your own original art piece and blah 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 blah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Blah blah blah. I mean, I tried with my character in a sense. I mean, I know it's super sexualized and all that jazz, but my character was actually something that I grew up creating. So it has my own personal mood to it.
Fleshy counterparts, like being able to say the most abhorrent and viscous statements with complete anonymity.
Where's your fucking art degree, buddy? Where's your fucking art degree? Oh, you have one? Okay, Hitler.
Probably due to the sheer popularity and benefits of being a VTuber, you can now find many other content creators adopting their own VTuber personality.
There you go, that's what you want to be?
If we ever hit 100k sub, I would do that.
You'll commission a femme VTuber for yourself.
And react to all the truck driving videos.
But with the vast amount of people partaking in such format, with a variety of personalities and
I'm not gonna lie, that last one I thought was part of an anime.
opinions, it's only natural that some VTubers would be favoured over others and some just outright hated. This brings me to the topic of today's video. One of the most hated VTubers that recently can't seem to catch a break, someone that had the complete opposite reputation only a few years ago, and someone I've spoken about before but never really in depth, Nux Taku. Yasina's Gunpai has recently removed herself from the internet due to people finding out that she wasn't in fact single and dating all her audience.
Okay.
Oh, that's the one that was having her audience send her dick pics, and she got off on that while she was in a relationship.
And she looked so drugged up in her VTuber.
Which was a new level of parasocial degeneracy. She even invited them to send dick pics as part of the girlfriend experience, but she's gone now, and probably has a solid terabyte of uncut penis on her hard drive, and that one other VTuber really doesn't count in this category, because most people still don't know they exist, which is partially a good thing, so the title now falls on Nux, as in
Okay, what about a Cinder though now? Do you think Cinder might actually have the crown for the most hated VTuber
when
now?
did this come out of? About a month
ago.
ago. So this is probably before the Cinder stuff. If you notice, he had Cinder in the beginning.
Yeah.
Recent years, he's been regarded to be one of the most hated VTubers, and still to this day gets shit like a
Oh, one video he gets shit on.
Uh-huh.
He said, I paid streamers of $10,000 to say the N-word, and the N-word was nipple.
Nipple!
public outhouse more than any other VTuber. But who is Nuxtaku? How did he become so hated? And does he deserve it?
I'm just incredibly famous on the internet, so people decide to try to cancel me on Twitter for some reason because they're jealous of my incredible success.
So for one of the
Also, the irony is he's like one of the only prominent male VTubers.
Yeah.
most hated
I can think of
VTubers,
anyway.
you'd have probably expected this man to have spawned.
Oddly enough, I've been seeing a lot more male VTubers, but they none of them have the amount of subs or whatever as Nux does.
Yeah.
On straight from the spread
Well,
cheeks
Nux
of
started off as a
Nurgle, with
VTuber.
malice and hate as
You
his
sure?
prerogative.
He didn't start
Which
off as a
isn't that
VTuber.
far from the
He started off
truth.
as like a
Nux
PG.
originally started
Kinda.
Oh, that was because VTubing didn't exist then.
Yeah, but still.
posting
He's
on
still
the
technically
internet in
VTube.
2015 with anime-based videos which I cannot relate to in any way. Anybody that has ever made such content should be lined up and shot with hollow point 7.62 rounds, but I digress. Nux had made
Excuse
his
me?
start on the
Talking about
internet making
himself.
primarily anime-targeted content, which people
Are you sure?
actually
I think he was referring to anyone who makes anime content.
We are technically anime.
Yay!
Oh, shit.
Aim for the head.
loved. A major critique against Nux from previous fans seems to be that they enjoyed it when he just made anime-themed content rather than the content he would later shift to. But we'll talk about that later. But in the current time frame, the gravy train was not.
I wonder if it's because he's been getting more political with his content.
Well, not only that, anime stuff gets copyright claims way too much, too.
Yeah, it's really hard to do anime-themed dabble. I mean, like, anytime I want to do karaoke, I have to copy... I can't monetize that stuff. I would do more karaoke if I could, but no.
Ending
sorry.
for Nux. He collaborated with many content creators doing the same niche he was, that at the time held a lot of influence on the platform. And he even eventually reached over 1 million subscribers by 2019, just by once again doing anime content, and conveniently around the same time, by his own words, somehow got cancelled for the first time in the year
Oh,
of
yeah.
2020, which was one of the first of many to come, and honestly, to Nux's credit, he has withstood a lot of them. You cannot take it away from him. Dude has
Man
tanked
strong.
controversies even though sometimes it's down to his own actions. But his first cancellation, in his own words,
You know why Nux is so strong?
Why?
Because most of his family survived the Holocaust.
was due to comments he made towards animes and anime characters. Yeah, we must have been very bored in 2020. And one of the comments that put him under scrutiny was when he referred to male anime characters that presented themselves as feminine under the title of traps,
Yep.
which I discovered recently has become a slur. Thank you for the 2020 slur patch notes 5 years later.
Cool. Still alive. Oh, it's still alive. I'm surprised. Yeah.
I think
To
this
be
is
honest,
our
I haven't
last
heard
big bed.
anyone use the word trap in a while. The second thing he was accused of was being racist, because he pronounced Full Metal Alchemist like this. And the third thing was that he
Why
was
is that
sexist for
racist?
talking about anime female characters in a negative way. But sorry to say, Sakura is a fucking useless character.
But it's true! He just spitting facts! You dumb bitch!
Yeah, he is. Hey, have we learned anything in life? When you say facts out loud, people get pissed.
Exactly!
I had to say it. She would have been more useful as a shuriken shield than anything else in the story. But out of all the controversies that Nux would later have, this one was by far the least impactful on his online reputation. But Nux's response to these allegations and critiques gives you a good example on Nux's
Yeah.
online persona, which has persisted even to this present day. He kind of just told them to go f*** themselves, and he clowned on the
Yes.
people hating on him.
I admire him so much for that. I love that he takes every negative thing and it's like, no, I've done nothing wrong. Just, yeah, takes it like a king. Damn.
How long you been alive already? About 2.5 hours. Or probably gonna be the last video of the night. Or day. Cause I gotta go do shit.
And clarified, he wasn't in the wrong because the majority of the time he was just talking about anime characters.
I don't think I did anything that warrants an apology, and therefore
Exactly.
I, Lord D. Nuxenor, will not be apologized.
This is the
His voice
persona
sounds
a
so
lot of
different
people
back then,
revered him
the way he
for.
talks.
It
He
probably
was someone that had
different
relatively
microphone and
no
just
filter
more
and was
cadence in his
certainly
voice, maybe.
unapologetic for it. He was
Age.
loud, energetic, satirical, and in his own words, he just loved the chaos and just flexing on the haters. That is also a term I haven't heard for a while. People loved this about him. It was somewhat...
He has a rare personality. He doesn't let anything bother him. I look up to that. That is the strongest kind of person I can think of.
Don't let the hand monster bother you. Just let it be.
Why do you talk about tenties?
of a breath of fresh air at that time, which to many's horror, someone with the same characteristics and significantly less apologetic was about to become popular around the same time. But all of what I've just mentioned was before he even became a VTuber. He actually only debuted as a VTuber in 2021, which mentioned before was around the boom of VTubing. Before his debut, he was like a 2D VTuber of sorts, using his character that looks like a black tar heroin version of Sans from Undertale.
He kind of looks like Nox, who is really ill.
Actually,
But
to
he
be
was never
honest, I always thought Nux's character design was based off of Hollow Ichigo.
Oh.
Considered a
what
VTuber
I
till
always
that
thought.
day of early 2021. And compared to other VTubing models, it did get its fair share of criticism. It didn't track very well. Sometimes his lips didn't collaborate.
Well, yeah, I think the
Yeah.
tracking got better. Like,
It's more technological advancements
yeah.
than anything.
It very well with what he was saying. People once again thought he was just a Sans Undertale clone. And where were the big boobas and
damn.
tit sliders?
Damn.
Disgraceful. But many of his fans actually loved it. It collaborated very well with his online personality and content, but after this he did start to stray away from his anime-themed content, with VTuber-related videos and general trends at the time.
And then I started getting into drama videos, political videos, and just trying to absorb lore from random stuff, random
His mask
shows.
reminds me of Ren X from Teen Titans.
Yeah, that too. Red X.
Red X, sorry.
Like, I gave X amount to a starving Serbian child, and he even threw a few songs in there as well.
Yeah,
But with
his current mask, looks very much like that.
his new type of content, he started to receive a lot more attention. Even with the disagreement from his older fans, he managed to reach 2 million subscribers, and even collaborated with the top echelons of YouTube, like Some Ordinary Gamers, Moist Critical, Umperville, and Lost Pause, who I feel like I haven't seen in a while, and obviously other VTubers like
We subscribed to him, but I just haven't watched one of his videos in a while.
Yeah.
Bow and Iron Mouse. He even started a podcast in 2021 with Umperbill and Mutaha, just talking about things that happened on the internet. And even though his older fans criticised him, his content had changed drastically, and he wasn't everybody's cup of tea. All of this was outweighed by the support and positivity for him. However,
Yeah, I get a lot of hearing a lot of people saying that they just don't like Nux because they just is not the kind of person that they'd watch, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it can be that simple. You don't need to sit there and hate the guy for what he says and junk. You can just not like him just because it's just not your type and just move on with your life.
Like Kirsha, for instance.
due to a number of controversies regarding his own actions, the tide of positivity quickly turned against him. And in the current day, he doesn't collaborate with many YouTubers like he used to. His content has mainly evolved into just slop reaction content. Oh, sorry, wrong channel. And on his second channel, he's dived into politics, which has also landed him in hot water. And many of the people that were once close to him have seemingly distanced themselves from him. Many address him now with either infamousy or just outright hate, which is very polarizing when compared to his...
How many people... Okay, Mutahar is the only one I know of, but has anyone else also,
They're gonna get into it in this
Okay.
video.
his previous years on the platform. But what are these controversies, and does he deserve a reputation that is essentially on the same level as a urinal cake marinated in piss?
The point that I'm trying to make here is, for some reason, I became the goddamn enemy numero uno.
Now, probably one of the first major and most confusing controversies Nux faced was in 2021 with VShoujo. Conveniently not long after he debuted, VShoujo is a VTubing agency with many of the juggernauts of the VTubing scene under their belt.
oh wait, there's a male one.
Eyebrows is like the biggest one I know.
I tried watching VTubers, but only a little, but I always like watching H2O delusions way more.
I'm watching a VTuber right now.
Like Iron Mouse,
Don't tell him
Project
that.
Melody, Zentreya, Fruit,
Oh, wait, that
and
wasn't
many
a-
more being
thought that
added
was
to
a
this
guy.
day. However, even before the events occurred, Nux and
Never
the
mind.
talent of VShoujo were on good terms. They created content together, interacted in the cesspool that is Twitter,
Tiny
and just
titty.
all around seemed to have a good relationship.
titty
However,
committee.
in 2021, somebody was targeting VShoujo, and were pretending to be VShoujo in order to gather VTubers' personal information to harass, dox, and even swat them. Some of the emails appeared like they were coming from VShoujo recruitment, and one specifically was sent to an indie VTuber, where they essentially thought their dreams were coming true, and they were asked to join VShoujo, but first they would have to put all their information in which the police then showed up to their house because they had just been swatted. Nux
Okay, that's disgusting.
Yeah.
That was... So that was just assholes being assholes to random people then.
Yeah.
And using VShoujo as the catalyst. Oh my goodness. A couple of your videos that had Nux have adventure time cause he reacts are good. Okay, so you all agree with Nux being good, so that's
had
good.
received the same email, but
You're
he
not
knew it
fan,
wasn't
awesome.
VShoujo. He got in contact with the VShoujo management team and cybersecurity team to tell them what was happening and that potentially more VTubers are going to fall victim to this, but VShoujo was already aware this was happening and were doing their own investigation. Nux began his own investigation by providing the wrong information to the email so they would contact him, and at one point they even flexed they had his information in a Discord server for some reason, which was provided to Nux by one of his apparent fans.
There's sources of info that I got, which are kind of hilarious. This dude was flexing that he got my real name and phone number, which he didn't, and he was posting it in his Discord servers, and one of the people in the Discord server that he was posting...
Nux played 3D chess on his...
That's actually
God, a genius!
a little bit smart and a little bit of luck. Because how do you just happen to, the guy in the Discord, you happen to be a fan of Nux. That's funny.
He was a fan of mine.
Nux was working on a full video covering this topic and spreading awareness about it. The VShoujo cybersecurity team and management knew about this video being made and were communicating directly with Nux about the video through things like Discord, and he even showed them the video before it was released. This also involved one of the VShoujo talents that was never named.
Someone is out there impersonating VShoujo, the massive VTuber group. They tried to steal my info, dox me, and swat me, and they've successfully done this to many, many other VTubers. This is
Man, I'm just so flabbergasted at how just big head Nux is. Oh man, I like how he talks openly like that. Eve.
not
Now, to Nux's credit, the video promptly spread awareness about the situation, potentially saving more indie VTubers that would want to join VShoujo, and just spreading awareness about general cybersecurity etiquette. Yes, if you've received an email from Jerkmate saying you're the top 1% of Jerkers, and they have to deliver your own personal golden encrusted flashlight, they just need you to fill out all your personal information, they were probably lying to you. But you'd think people would rejoice at such a positive thing Nux had done. Yes, people did initially praise him for this video, and VShoujo also thanked him, and one of the perpetrators allegedly had their information turned over to the police, but the positive acclamations for Nux quickly turned when many of the VShojo VTubers publicly criticized Nux for making a video on the topic with allegations levied against him of being a clout chaser and potentially putting...
Fuck you! He just saved your fucking...
This whole VJojo thing was so fucking stupid, and...
No. Explain this bullshit to me. Nux literally just saved your fucking company from being used for, illegal fucking bullshit here. And these bitches here are all like, oh, you're just trying to cloud chase us.
Ninja.
What is this? Hold on, let me read this. Stop pushing my button.
I'll push your button.
I'll punch you in the face.
I'll punch you in the face.
Punch you in the face. When multiple people tell you not to upload something in concern of their own safety, you don't. Really? Okay, so they're giving him flack because he's vocally saying, hey, I stopped this horrible person from using your company name to attack people. I'm so disappointed in you and hurt that you're doing this when you full well know that truly what's going on. We asked you to take it down. We told you we feared for our safety and you didn't care. Asking for you to take it down because I felt my safety was in trouble, but for you to go to the company and ask for numerous terms and conditions in return, it's not something that you push the button, you bitch!
Sorry.
God, you suck!
That was my bad. I think I pressed my headphone in it.
Betrayers allegedly had their information turned over to the police, but the positive acclamations for Nux quickly turned when many of the VShojo...
There.
That's not friendship. Most VTubers react to H2O delirious masquerades already. Oh.
When multiple people tell you not...
VShojo VTubers publicly criticized Nux for making a video on the topic with allegations levied against him of being a clout chaser and potentially putting them in danger. But the fact that many of the VShojo team had apparently told him not to make the video, but he did so anyway, and many of them just wanted the video removed, in which it was 3 days later. Now, it's important to note that within the video, none of the VShojo members were mentioned directly.
Exactly!
The only other VTuber mentioned in the video was Saki, who was the victim that got swatted, and in fact responded positively to the video being made. So the only way this would put VShojo talent in danger would be inspiring other people to do the same. But VShojo knew about it. Even one of the members was in the Discord with the cybersecurity team and Nux. And once again, they thanked him and even provided an official statement at the end of the video. But
So what was up these VTubers' butts?
I think what it was is Nux put the video up because no one asked the VTuber agents. I think the security team fucked up and they didn't communicate. And they decided it's easier to throw Nux under the bus than to take responsibility.
Of course.
Here's the VShojo talent were not informed about this at all.
What was the term? Nux is like VTube Jesus.
Yeah.
He's Jewish. Yeah, Jesus was
Hence why
Jewish,
a lot
right?
of them were denouncing Nux's video. And to make things worse, VShojo management deleted their thank you to Nux and then went with a narrative that they always told him never to make the video. And everyone proceeded to pile on Nux. Now, if you've been stunlocked, it's no surprise all of this is very confusing, but to break this down for you like SpaghettiOs, this is basically a tale of poor communication, where the VShojo members were not told beforehand about this, except for the one VShojo member that was in the group apparently. The VShojo team thought they communicated directly to Nux that they didn't want this video to be made, with only 2 instances, one before he even started the video, and 2 when they were actively helping him with the video, where they didn't tell him directly to not make the video, and even thanked him for it. But when the
Wow!
I think someone in their management fucked up and it was easier to throw Nux under the bus than to...
Of course. When did this happen?
I think 21, I think they said. No, November of 21.
Okay, yeah.
Shoujo talent had problems with it, they then
No, I
withdrew
do
their
not.
thanks, and once again reinstated their stance they never wanted him to make this video, despite once again being informed and having some part in it. They also expressed concerns about the one person he called a fan, who was the one that told him they were leaking the fake information, that they were a part of the attack and could be feeding him misinformation. That is the bare bones of what happened, and Nux was facing a mountain of backlash for it, even though his heart was in the right place and he did inform the group. I just wanted to bring light to this situation to prevent any further victims. He kind of just got thrown under the bus due to an apparent miscommunication with...
We did warn Nux, but about releasing the videos by outlining concerns from our whatever team, but these are not the same as asking him to pull down the video. From our perspective, we believe these were strong warnings and we could have been much clearer on the risks.
But
him and the
God,
cybersecurity and management
that's the
team of
exact same
Vtuber,
thing.
but when the dust settled, Nux just wanted to move on.
cute little body. Yeah, go baby.
And all
Sorry,
parties
distracted
apologised,
by bots.
including the VShoujo VTubers, but for his first
Yeah, they all apologized back to Nux afterwards when they realized it was all miscommunication. But Nux kind of,
Already got the flack.
major controversy, he received a lot of backlash for this, even though, once again, his heart was in the right place. And the real problem was the people doxing and swatting people. But the next one is something I've spoken about before, so I'll give you the cliff notes. But it's one that Nux regards as his biggest mistake, and one that took around 2 years to somewhat conclude.
And I made a huge up. Without hyperbole, this was the biggest mistake of my career, and I am deeply, deeply sorry for spreading misinformation.
A fellow VTuber by the name of Tiger had a document created about them alleging they were a predator. The document was produced by individuals that were previous mods and stalkers of Tiger, and in 2022, Nux made a video with Moist Critical going over VTuber drama. Moist didn't know about a lot of these VTubers or dramas, and the video was essentially Nux giving a tour through the many controversies of the VTuber community and
Okay, so Nux ended up saying a controversy that was something that was not true, I'm guessing?
yeah, I'll let it play.
explaining them. However, he does eventually get to Tiger and says he doesn't know much about the situation, but then continues to convey the message they were a predator. And with someone like Moist Critical in the video, a lot of people saw it.
Left to teach
Yeah.
Monday.
Is this HoloLive?
No, Taiga is an indie streamer who, I don't know the whole story.
Okay. Yeah,
His-
that's...
his only mistake, he shot his mouth off before he knew all the facts.
He just thought it was something that was true because it was... Oh, he should have did more research on it, I guess.
And even he'll admit he fucked up.
But Taiga was outed to be a...
Wondering why from YouTubers or VTubers or any famous get in trouble the most and get betrayed.
Yeah, probably just because they're so famous and people want to tear them down, probably.
Yeah.
Now, Tiger was exonerated from these claims a few months later, and Nux did pin a comment regarding the Tiger situation under the video, and he even removed that part in the video. He also apologised privately to Tiger for this, but many thought the damage was already done. 6 months later, Nux brings up the situation on his podcast, once again saying he messed up, and he was going off the information.
See, this right here would be an example of when an apology needs to be done and when someone's actually truly sorry about what they do.
Don't pull a cinder and don't throw me under the bus when you fuck up.
Because those apologies from those people are all fake because all they want is to get their love and respect back even though they did something horrible. Nux here, he did something horrible, but it was an accident and he truly felt bad about it.
Yeah.
That's the big difference. So this is the only time when an apology is something that needs to happen and that is from the heart. You know you messed up. He acknowledged his mistake and he came out and talked about it.
Yeah, Cinder should have learned from him.
She intentionally did her thing, though. The difference is Nux, he didn't intentionally do this on purpose. He just thought something was a fact and was just mistaken.
What other people told him, and that once again he had privately apologized for this.
Like, I alleged it also because a friend told me. And I regret it because he, you know, I don't know if it's true. He ended up coming back with some sort of response. I don't know, this guy, Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that I even alleged something like that. And, like, because a friend told me.
Now, you would think this is where it would.
Yeah, we're only human. Everyone makes fuck-ups like that a bunch. Like, hell, I know, just sometimes just saying things, you can piss off people.
Yeah.
So, you can't please anyone, and mistakes happen. There's a bunch of dust.
Nux somewhat apologized and learned his lesson that, you should verify information before voicing it, especially when it's a serious allegation, which he did do again around the same time against another YouTuber and VTuber called Rev, where they got into a whole kerfuffle and made a video, which was removed recently, with a weird comment from Nux where if he was to do a video on Rev, with his influence and podcast, YouTube would probably take his channel down.
If I make a video roasting this dude on my main channel, YouTube will literally deplatform him. Like, YouTube actually watches my stuff.
Yeah,
especially ever since I've been on the Some Ordinary podcast. YouTube has really been paying attention to, like, what we've been saying. And I'll be honest, if I would make a video on him on the main channel, I do think he'd get taken down for either bullying or the whole weird pedo stuff.
But a few months later, he would claim...
Okay, so what was he saying there?
I think him and Rev were getting... I don't know the whole details about... Again, I don't know the whole details, but him and Rev got into a spat and he kind of shot his mouth off.
I say my opinion is because that's how the world is, cause life ain't easy or fair, or when someone gets famous because circumstances or consequences or can come from something so small, even innocent people that are famous. And there's also the thing where sometimes fame can corrupt you too. Anger can be a big part, and just there's a lot of caveats.
YouTuber actively suppressing him, which just contradicts his past claim, but he did apologize for this around 2 years later.
And some of the stuff that I said in my old stream that I foolishly uploaded on Nuxanor. And yeah, I was definitely out of pocket when I talked about Rev like 2-3 years ago, whenever the fuck that was.
But with the Tiger situation, it wasn't done yet, as Tiger thought it wasn't a good apology, because Nux claimed privately they would publicly clear the slate regarding Tiger, possibly with another video with Moist Critical. But the video or cleaning of the public slate never came.
This guy Bungo Taiga, and I apologized to him privately that...
Let me be clear. Let me check exactly what he said. If I do a sequel with Charlie, I was planning on it, I'll try to clear the record more publicly. I'll also do more research. Again, I don't know right now, however, I'll try to rectify any extra damage I caused and hope you can accept my apology. This was in December 22nd, 2022. 2022! He said he was gonna make a sequel video with Moist Critical. Video never came.
Now moving to
To be fair, I'm pretty sure Moist Critical isn't the easiest person to collab with.
Yeah. I think, Tiger got banned on YouTube now. I don't think it's for the shit Nux did, but they were taking it out on Nux too. That's my opinion.
24, Nux was still getting backlash for this mistake. People wanted him to take full accountability for this, with not just a pinned comment, not just a small segment on his podcast, and not just a private DM. And in 2024, he did apologize, saying it was the biggest fuck-up of his career, in a video where he goes over the unjust banning of VTubers on YouTube and mentions Tiger, who was also banned on the platform. He does apologise for the situation, but adds he wasn't to blame for Tiger's deplatforming.
Then I want to know, why did Tiger end up getting banned then?
Who knows?
I'm curious
I don't know
about that now.
I gotta look that up.
I made a huge up. Without hyperbole, this was the biggest mistake of my career, and I am deeply, deeply sorry for spreading misinformation and for causing any undue hate to be sent Taiga's way. I am sorry for how I handled that. I'm sorry for how I said it. I have tried to do better since then, and I will continue to try to do better in the future.
Now, he apologized again. It should all go away now, right?
No,
Not
never
really.
goes away.
Many viewed his apology as disingenuous due to the
Again, you can't win. Even if you say you're sorry for something, you just can't win. Even if you truly mean it.
All you can do is say sorry, and if people don't accept it, oh well, just move on.
Yeah, that's what he was trying to do, I think.
I thought about why it affects famous people much more than normal people a while ago.
Sheesh.
fact, he made
That's
comments
their
around the
life,
same
I
time,
guess.
previously contradicting the private apology, comments on the podcast, and pinned comment. So a lot of people thought all of his apologies he'd made were just disingenuous anyway.
Bro! Right. I thought you cared about, stood up for small creators. I do. Especially when the small creators don't have sussy interactions in regards to minors.
And still to this day, this situation is levied against him. Now, Nux, contrary to popular belief, wasn't to blame directly for Tiger's deplatforming, but he was to blame for the spread of allegations at the time, and how he dealt with the situation, often apologising, then going back on his word, then apologising again. He all around did not deal with this situation very well, and it did have an effect on his reputation. Something the next controversy, only a month
this
later,
is
would
the
also
dumb
do,
one.
and would
Oh.
receive 10 times more attention than
Him
any
and
of his
Jaden animations, I believe.
Yeah, this is the dumbest one I've seen.
I liked watching some of her Pokemon videos that she did.
Makes you sad.
past controversies
it's
with the
nice.
most lukewarm scenario, and that is the Jaden Animations situation. Now, most people know who Jaden Animations is. She makes animated videos, mainly storytime videos, and even herself later became a VTuber. But this
Oh,
whole
I didn't know she
controversy
became a
boils down
VTuber.
to Nux that just changed his type of content to mainly just reaction-based content, which many popular content creators do, like Asmongold and Pyrocynical, the Mounting Ugly. But people had a problem with
That made me think of the fat tea from mod we used.
Oh, God. Should we get a mod
Nux
and make
due to the
hammer
fact he started
Tifa?
reacting to Jaden,
I
and he
don't
would
think
take
that's
the
a thing.
title or situation and involve himself in it. With a title like
Dude, I need to take the time to look up back rooms to see if they have any mods. Now I'm...
Shotgun mods, and we could kill that damn thing.
That'd be nice.
Me and Jaden had a good 10 years on YouTube. Or Jaden Anime.
Wait, we won, though.
I still gotta go through it.
Oh, in your playthrough.
I'm gonna do that later
Missions
tonight.
talks to me about dating. Or me and Jaden forgot to file our taxes and the IRS found us. Stuff like that.
But
Who's we?
and I found out we had
There is no we.
ADHD.
It made it look like they were doing
And?
a collab of sorts, even though I don't think there's any recorded event of them interacting. But people were not happy with this, and a whole bunch of hate was sent to Nux, especially with the perceived reputation he already had. Someone made a fake response from Jaden, which many believed, essentially telling him to fuck off. Someone made a Google Chrome extension which adds him to every YouTube video, and someone ratioed Mr. Beast with a meme and he took credit for it. People made a Teen Titans Go reference with it, which was "and Bumblebee," which he assumed meant it was just kids making fun of him.
I'm
Okay.
getting canceled by Teen Titans Go children.
Wow. Yo, that's disgusting, man. At that point, I just ignore that shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so this whole trying to cancel thing was just stupid.
Yeah.
It was just stupid stuff.
Stupid.
God, Teen Titans Go. God, that shit's still around, isn't it?
It's a
Complete-
shit stain that will never come out of your underwear.
No. It was literally the death of Cartoon Network. This is, I'm kind of depressed. My childhood has been obliterated. Nickelodeon, Disney Channel, Cartoon Network, they're all just trash now. They're all gone.
No, I was sad when Johnny
I'm
Dare
being
lost.
canceled
Oh,
by
Meh.
I was sad when they removed Johnny Dare off the radio. That was part of my childhood in a weird way.
toddlers. It's amazing.
Even though Teen Titans Go, yes, it is a bad sequel to Teen Titans, but it
I
is
wouldn't call
pretty
it a
old now, and I
sequel.
think it aired quite a while ago when I was a toddler. But
Oh god, it came out in 14? And it's still around?
Yep.
I've gotta throw up. And
Teen
it's not
Titans-
a sequel, it's a fucking spin-off.
Teen Titans Go lasted longer than Teen Titans.
Oh god. The good one. Oh god.
people that didn't know who Nux was before this just thought he was the Jaden Animations guy now, which I don't know if it's good PR or bad PR. But to be honest, he was just doing what every other React channel does, albeit changing the title slightly. I don't know why he chose Jaden, he wasn't framing any other titles like this, and he had already been doing it as far back as 2 years ago. But it was just...
That's because he found something new to react to, I guess. Her content was very interesting. Very funny, very cute.
reaction videos, which many people watch, so they don't feel alone watching YouTube in their dark, dingy basement. But anyway, now the last controversy, yes, we're almost there. I know I've taken up a majority of your time, but let's be honest.
Lonely, I am so lonely.
Oh, George is back.
I got nobody to call my own. Ooh, I just, we're getting close to the end of the stream. Me and my siblings always wonder why Teen Titans downgraded to Toddler Titans.
That time playing
Remo
War Thunder or Dead
Titans.
by Daylight wouldn't have been time well spent, now would it? So shut up. But the last one, and probably the most impactful, was basically surrounding Lolly. Now the topic of Lolly has been debated for years now, especially within the...
God, talking about Lolicon, hell, I think even... You think we have the similar opinion of Nux when it comes to Lolicon?
Probably.
anime community. On
That
one
is
side you
just
have people that
fucking
argue lolly
an art
characters in
style.
anime or VTubing is only an aesthetic thing, focused on characters that are small or have a specific body type. A key example used by this side is Rebecca from Cyberpunk, which
love
was a
Rebecca.
whole different controversy back then, but she did get absolutely balled on in the
And
anime.
when she
And on
died!
the other side, people
She got teabagged so
God,
hard.
that was the one moment in anime that I freaked out. I did not see that coming, and it just, like, blew my brain. Just like hers.
say they are depictions of children, and if you sexualize them, you are a predator. With the example, some anime characters seen in that light are underage. But how does this relate?
God, we could get flacked. Are we ever gonna go back to watching more of,
Rizmine.
Rizmine?
I'm not sure we could show it on YouTube. Well, I don't know.
YouTube?
To Nux.
It
Well,
is on
Nux was
YouTube.
heavily against lolly publicly, saying along the lines, if you like lolly or sexualize it, you are a predator. However, many took a look back at Nux's history with some of the content and thumbnails, some of which have been deleted and changed over the years. Many cited he had straight up involved lolly sexually in his thumbnails or suggested such themes in his content. Even at one point he had a series where he would straight up show anime porn to other influencers to get their reaction.
He has the same facial expression as Tom, bro.
Whoever made this needs to be in jail.
What?
Okay, my thing is, if they say the character's age, if the character acts like a child, looks like a child, then don't loot it. If it's more portrayed more adult-like, and yeah, and they don't say like when they do with like Shaltier,
Shaltier, yeah.
for example. She's fucking old as fuck. She's a vampire.
Yeah.
And again, they're just art. They're just pictures. You're not actually hurting anyone. When you look at actual, real life children, then you are the problem. Then you are the monster. Leave real kids alone. Hell, if it even depends on the level. Like, for example, I would not lewd anyone from Made in Abyss.
Yeah.
That's just no.
You know it exists.
God.
What are we doing back then in those days of content? Jesus. Even showed hentai that was considered lolly to his fellow co-host.
Oh, specifically, Boku no Pico.
Because they're like sitting there saying, yeah, that's a young child. And,
I saw one of it, but I'm pretty sure it was an adult. I can't remember. It was a while ago of Nux video. Neil.
Mudaha.
This is a hentai?
First rule, hug your little sister every day.
Okay, it's fine. Okay, it's just hug her for at least 10 seconds. There's nothing wrong with the hug. That's fine.
The third rule isn't any weirder, so you don't have to worry.
Oh.
But he was mainly being called out for being a hypocrite due to the thumbnails and the videos. What made things significantly worse at the time was the Ava Chris Tyson allegations, where Ava was a supporter of Shadman and
The person that was Mr. Beast controversy that all blew up last year.
Over my head.
infamous character online that drew NSFWR, and more notably drew NSFWR of Keemstar's daughter at the time, who was underage, which everyone...
Okay. If you're specifically drawing someone to look like someone else, again, and it's a child... yeah, that's kind of that's a dark area there.
Disgusting. But after the whole Ava Chris Tyson story, a post was made showing all the creators that associate with or endorse Shadman, and Nux was listed, where he previously included Shadman's art in his thumbnails, which he did change a few days after the video was released a few years ago.
To be fair, on Nux's part, I bet you he didn't even know that was based off of a real person.
Oh, Kirsha got in trouble for wanting to get art from Chadman. She thought he was just a meme poster, and then when she realized, who this person was, she kind of distanced herself from him. The dude made porn hentai of his own mother. He's that level of fucked up. He got kicked out of art school.
He's Hitler.
Remember the video that I talked about that had a Shadman art in the thumbnail, and I changed it, and people kept saying that, no, I don't believe you that you changed the thumbnail back 3 years ago. You probably just changed it right now. Game of Thrones memes are fucked up. Last updated thumbnail 11/24/2020. This thumb.
He asked him for a collaboration where Nux is excused.
If I'm being honest, I think it's probably similar to why Truckerman and we like anime and stuff. I think most of the generation that watches this is probably similar to our generation, maybe even the next generation, so millennials, Gen X.
Gen Z.
Maybe Gen Z, it depends.
Gen X is older than us.
It's just the fact how we grew up, we are all anime sexual. We all get turned on by animated characters like this. That's why we all have our waifus. That's why we all have our habadus, habobodoos, habobodoos, habadoos.
Was he was going to make fun of him.
People are making this as some sort of, I am supporting him and I'm trying my best to become friends with Shadman, this monster. Which is fucking stupid if you know my content at all. I troll, confront people when I collab the same way you do, talking to Keemstar, on LOLCow, and if you watch my videos, you know that. I don't mind if you hate me, but at least hate me for the right reasons.
And at one point he even had direct contact with Shadman, where multiple videos resurfaced of him talking about the DMs.
I'm trying to make his. Yes, I did get DM'd by Shadman every once in a while, back in the day, rarely. I would just wake up out of the blue and boom, I'd have a Shadman DM, and I would literally make fun of him for those DMs later. Man. That's a weird, yeah. And,
that's a way to start a sentence.
That's a way to start a sentence. And he has some interesting takes on Gardevoir.
Oh yeah, Gardevoir. Hey, when's that supposed to come out?
Pretty soon.
We bought the life-size Gardevoir from the Pokemon store.
Thanks, bud. For some reason, I don't watch VTubers, even though I like their characters, and I suddenly forgot about them. Well, maybe sometimes you don't watch them because they don't react or they don't play games that you're interested in. It's just as simple as that, really.
He can keep them. I don't think I need to hear
Maybe
them.
they became
Yeah, they're
boring
weird.
for you.
Dude, honestly, it was the weirdest conversation I've ever had in my life. Like, through DMs. I didn't speak to him, like, voice, but it was the weirdest conversation I've ever had.
And even one video where he says he doesn't want to get him in trouble.
Shad man once, it was the weirdest interaction of my life. Like, that dude may actually open up the DMs. Let me see if I can find anything funny he said. Oh my god, I can't even read you most of this. I can't even, oh my god, I literally can't read any of this to you. I really want to show them to you, but I don't want to, like, show you anything that I can't reveal. Like, I don't want to actually get him in trouble. It's just like, yeah.
But Nux clarifies he never knew about the Keemstar Shadman thing. Now, it's been unclear if Nux was ever going to actually roast Shadman if he did a video with him, or if he truly didn't know about what Shadman was doing. But the fact he had direct contact with someone like Shadman, many still viewed as incriminating.
So, just because you didn't know the person that you had some contact with was doing some shady shit, automatically that makes you a bad person. I mean, it's not like they were best friends.
Like, you get you would get one of those, like, weird tech support calls. You realize the person was probably a bad person.
Oh yeah, the random random bot there. Turns out it's not a bot, it's a person, and they do things.
Yeah.
They do the bad things. And I'm in trouble now just because they associated with me.
Even though in his own words he was just making fun of him. In his response he also said he regrets a lot of his previous content and the involvement of Lolly in them. And he has always been against Lolly.
It wasn't a review of Lolicon. That's obviously bad faith. Probably one of the most bad faith ways to twist what actually happened I've ever heard. Now, I have said in the past, and I'll say it again, I do regret making a lot of those old videos. I have literally always been against the lolly. I made old videos where I found, like, crazy hentai, and I showed them to people for shock value. These hentai videos are on YouTube also. And I reacted to a YouTube video, being like, this is crazy that this came out of Japan and is literally on YouTube. So, anyway, it was a little wild. I invited a lot of people to the call, obviously.
God, I watched the darkest anime ever.
What?
I can't even talk about it. I forgot the name of it. It's like the most cursed anime.
Anime or hentai?
It's an anime. It's a fucked up old anime that's probably banned in a bunch of places.
Isn't that the one where the guy made it by himself and it's actually banned in Japan because it's so bad?
No. It's the one where it's definitely one of the most messed up things you'll ever see. Like, one of the scenes. Okay, so Evil Circus.
Oh, it is the one I know. That is the one. Yeah, I already
It
know.
is.
I know what you're talking about.
No one thought it was weird.
He made
People
it by
had eyeballs.
himself?
Everyone thought that
Really?
the content was weird.
Because who was gonna work on that horrible fucking thing?
They made a live action of it too.
Ugh.
A lot of this controversy just boils down to Nux saying he hated something, but he was involving it in his content and was actively showing it to people. And he also
It costs the same price as a Switch 2. Ah, my friend, it is for the scalping.
Or the people who have fetishes.
You scalp to the people who have fetishes.
That thing, there are people gonna be fucking that thing till it's gonna be dust.
shouldn't have had ties with someone making terrible.
Dude, who was it that had that? Was it Chris Chan who had that, or someone had like some plush that they used a bunch?
Oh, Jay Sonic.
Oh, that's it.
Who fucked a Sonic plush constantly and doesn't clean it out.
And it's full.
All I can think is the Toy Story of toys they come to life. What that thing would be saying.
Oh god. I watch VTuber clips on videos, but never full live. Like once a couple of months, I'll usually watching YouTubers or old cartoons, or also enjoy back in the day our anime like One Piece.
Oh, we still got new One Piece.
Or Frieza? You mean Dragon Ball Z?
Anyway, I wasn't in this video.
An SFWR, even if he was going to
Oh, yeah, we
make
got a new
fun
One
of him.
Piece to
Now,
watch,
this is
yay.
where the controversy stood for some time, but then the post-Nux clarity hit for Mudaha. If
Hold on. だから夢のきなはずねkasi na no探しに行くのさらポケットの奥に So do you wanna be my friend? We are on the cruise We are
few months later, which to give him credit, is a good title, but Mudaha made a video basically saying he was distancing himself from Nux due to some feedback he got from Reddit.
But to go back to it, Nuxtaku is a former collaborator, a former friend of mine,
We reacted to
and I
this
mean
video,
really
too.
a former friend of mine because some of the stuff that
I
see
still could not believe Mudahar did that. He just threw him under the bus because he was getting attacked, and so he's like, yeah, he basically was using Nux as a scapegoat,
Yeah.
which is very, very, very unfriend-like. I mean, I guess they're technically weren't really friends, more like business friends at best, but still.
over here is disgusting enough that I really can't continue a friendship, and I really can't, like, again, excuse some of my behavior watching some of this content.
He said they had no more business relations and they were no longer friends due to things like the Tiger situation, the Shadman situation, and the Lolly involvement, which he had.
I don't know why he brought up the Taiga situation, though, because that was something that was years ago.
But it
yeah?
just popped up like in 20.
It just came back up like
the same time he made this video. I think the reason why Mudahar was fighting with Hassan, and instead of Hassan going after Nux, he used Nux to go after Mudahar.
Some parting
Hassan's
and
a
showed
piece of shit.
remorse for it.
Sheesh.
But in this situation, I just wanted to provide you the context of all of this, right? This wasn't us
And he
sitting together
caved.
watching Loli, just on like the off time. This is a collaboration for one of Nux's main channel videos. And at the time, really nobody thought about it. But we should have. It really did blindside me. There was a bias, call it, friendship bias, call it, there was other creators working on it, but really it was something that I was putting up a blind spot to, and I'm not using that as an excuse. I really shouldn't have done that collaboration, and I really shouldn't have watched that content, and in any way contributed to normalizing it.
And he went on to say he didn't know about Nux's content and he was naive to some of the things he took part in.
Hiya. I'm doing great.
But in this video, he was
Well, we're
basically
reaching the end of
taking
the stream. You kinda
accountability
came
for
in late,
his
but thank you for
involvement,
joining.
but then deleted the video, citing
Oh yeah, the Resurrection F movie from Dragon Ball Super. That was really good.
Yeah.
I really did like the remake, remake in a sense of the Broly movie. Personally, I still prefer the original Broly, but yeah.
he was overreacting and he apologized to Nux, and they are still friends.
Muda deleted his video, posted a community post, and then called me, and apologized.
Many thought this was disingenuous of Mutahar taking accountability then walking it back, and he did receive a lot of flack for this, many citing that wearing the Christian medallion was giving off some gamma radiation and probably skewed his judgment due to this. And
It was a curse.
I'll probably someone hasn't tried the same curious for the Sonic 2 medallion.
How many of those are floating out there that could actually be real? How many people remade them and sold them, I wonder, too? I'm curious, how ruined is Mudahar's channel? Had he recovered, or?
I haven't checked him out in a while, but he probably recovered from it.
No, the one when Goku had to recruit Frieza for the tournament of
in the Dragon Ball Super series.
Yeah.
many said he was just throwing Nux under the bus, who was supposedly his friend, so he didn't have to deal with the Reddit hate. Mudahar probably should have thought a lot more about this before making the video, but the two of them made up anyway apparently. But the fallout of this video was a lot of the previous stuff being brought up again against Nux, and other people like Chud Logic were...
Okay, sorry, random bit here. I bet, since you said you like Nux, trip. Transformation was peak.
there was peak for me. Okay, but since you said you like Nux, I bet you're loving him watching the Team 4-star Dragon Ball Z Abridged series, because that's been fun.
Affected when they were told contradicting things by Mutahar and reported on it.
My boots have been pissed on, and I've been told that it's raining, right? It is 100% without question that Mutahar did say to me, okay, he did say to me that it was ending because of Nux Tarku and the Shaman connection, and then later changed that.
But overall, a lot of content creators before the post-Nux Clarity video and after did start to distance themselves from Nux.
I love me some chaos now and again, but it was a pretty rough moment there.
So in conclusion, does Nux deserve the reputation of the most hated VTuber? Looking at all the...
Nah, at this point, I believe it goes to Cinder now.
I think Cinder's taking that.
Yeah. Since he mentioned like that one other chick.
Anal violence.
Huh?
The lady attacking she attacking Kirsha. She's technically a VTuber.
It. or would you say that Kirsha might get that most hated VTuber now? Because she's getting attacked a lot.
Yeah, but it's backfiring on the people attacking her. Because she's, as of right now, got 2,000 viewers on Twitter.
Hey, like, well, damn. Nah, he doesn't really.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve the hate.
The controversies. He tried to do the right thing with the V-Shoujo situation and the Jaden Animations thing.
The V-Shoujo one is basically they threw him on the bus. The Jaden Animations fucking retarded.
It was just kind of a joke.
The Mutahar
But due
one
to his
thrown
own
under the
actions,
bus.
like contradicting him.
The only real one, I think, is the Taiga.
And then even he admits that's just him shooting his mouth off.
But again, we're all human. We all make mistakes. It's just up and downhill for everything. Just
Himself
waiting
at times
for
are
more
going
attacks
back on
from
what he
me.
says and taking no accountability, except for sometimes years later. It has led to a lot of people hating him, so yes, he does somewhat deserve that title, mostly due to his past controversies and the public perception of him. But in the present, I predict we probably won't see any more dramas from Nux. I'm probably wrong. Nowadays, dude is just reacting to politics and Adventure Time, and yes, he does get a lot of hate for his political takes, but I'm in no way political, or have any knowledge on politics. But yeah.
The funny thing is, Nux isn't political either. He's just calling it out as he sees it. He can't help that the left is crazy as fuck and there's just more to react to versus the right. So anyway, thank you all for joining us for this stream. And I will post on my doody-doo what time and what days won out. I will see you again after this week.
Because,